it's a full house today. We've got royalty in the house as well. We've got writing royalty, we've got composition royalty, we've got singing royalty, height royalty. And we also have a lady who's just coming off Blockbuster. After Blockbuster, we're talking. Sometimes, you know, what you say just prior to it starting is so exciting. I never bring it back on screen, but thank you guys for joining me. Jubin, Nikita, Rochak and Manoj sir, thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Thank you.
The others have been regulars. We'll start with you since it's the first time I'm meeting you. And this is the first time, you know, somehow you're in almost every single Facebook post that keeps happening because that film, Kabir Singh Never Goes.
Yes, yes.
It's always there.
Yeah.
You know, when they say repeat value, you realize online if there's repeat value.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes say, I'm very, very shocked that it's still continuing and it will haunt me forever until I do something as big, if not bigger, outside?
I won't say haunt because I'm really happy that, you know, the after effects of the film are still there. So I quite enjoy the fact that, you know, when you're scrolling down your social media, some things keep popping up, memes keep popping up.
All the time.
I've seen memes on me. There's this one particular picture of Shahid and me and there's this funny meme somebody's made. So I quite enjoy all of it. Like, no complaints.
So eventually when you come back in, you know, this is also a film and how the industry sort of navigates around it. So you do it not expecting that much and we all, you know, you look at initially length of role and all those things. Suddenly it becomes a snowball. And that's the case with all the other actors that are involved.
Yeah.
Did you understand what to do with it?
So honestly, you know, funny, you're just speaking about it. When I got into the film, I got in with no expectations at all. I was going through a phase in my life where I had a fracture in my foot and I had not worked for 2 months. So I was just dying to get out of my house and like go work. This was the first thing that came to me and I said, yes, I'm going to do it. You know, it was just that entire want of like getting back on set, being on a film set again. So that's how I did the film. And I remember even when it was coming out, I went with blank, zero expectations into the theatre to watch it the first time.
But coming out, you would have had expectations.
In a week's time, things have like you know, gone completely. They've switched over. It's taken a 360-degree turn. My life took a complete turn after the film came out. So, in a way, I think it's the right way to go about it. Yeah. You go with zero expectations and, you know, if it's great, it's great.
It was fantastic for your career also, so well done on that. The gentleman sitting right next to you also, of course, he's involved in almost every film, but this was why I speak about that film, because it was such an interesting journey. Even the singers had journeys. One song was first, another song, then another song, and it just kept going on and on. You know, by the time we reached your songs, it was like, oh, ye wala gana bhi hai and all that. You know, so when you come to singers and when you know that it's a multi-track film or something, you know, and I feel till today also that it is the film, the songs that bring the people into theatres. They keep them there, and when they walk out, and Manoj sir will also, and Rochak of course will talk to you about this, where I do not think enough credit is given to the music per se of a film. You are in a music channel, yes, we're sitting in a music label house, but otherwise the actor walks away with everything sometimes. Actually not sometimes, every time. And I think that he's spoken at length many times about these things also. But do you think that culture is changing where they understand? And I'm so happy to see you now so many times in your own music videos, and the height is also matching in these two. It's very nicely done. This was well cast. But have you noticed that change also in the last 7-8 years, Baba? Because you've now become Baba, as everybody calls you. Jubin Baba.
So I think music industry definitely has paced up big, in a very big way. Which is very good because again, you know, now musicians are not dependent on so many things they used to be earlier. They have, मतलब हर चीज़ के रास्ते बन गए.
Independent music भी as fast चल रहा है.
बिल्कुल, अभी हिम्मत रखो तो जाएगा रास्ता. Otherwise you would be dependent on so many factors to release your music to start with. So I think a great time is coming है for films and for the art worlds. हम लोग तो एक industry जो West को हमेशा से follow करते आए, मतलब it's like a pattern. So I think.
But यहाँ पे हम लोग parallel नहीं जाते थे. And you know, Manoj जी, वहाँ पे भी, you know, every singer, whether it's a Beyonce, whether it's a Rihanna, whether it's a Madonna. In fact, वहाँ तो उल्टा हुआ है. Justin Timberlake तो came into films because of singing. You know, and so many times it's happened. There even Snoop Doggy Dogg and all that, and they're as big. And today even a Justin Bieber and all, no matter whether you liked him or not, he's now thinking of an acting career because he's so powerful as a singer. Lady Gaga, prime example. You know, a brilliant performer as well. What Jubin is saying, do you think music has it? Yes, you all have a lot of shows. Most of the musical shows on TV are music shows. Maybe dance and music.
Right.
But क्या really वो इज्जत मिलती है?
कमानी पड़ती है. अपने आप कोई नहीं देगा. स्पेशली हम पिछले काफ़ी दिनों से जिस दौर से गुजर रहे हैं, music has taken a bad hit. I mean, apart from all the rosy things, all the good things that we keep talking about music, and of course, music से जो हमारा रिश्ता है, कम से कम हम 3 लोगों का, वो वही है जो कि एक किसान का एग्रीकल्चर से होता है. Exactly that relationship.
बीज बोना पड़ता है और फिर.
Exactly. तो दूसरों के लिए गाना सुनना 3 सेकंड में 4 सेकंड में डिस्कार्ड कर देना, हम बहुत वक्त लगाते हैं. अब होता ये है कि फिल्म चल गई, बहुत आगे निकल गई फिल्म, सैकड़ों करोड़ का बॉक्स ऑफिस हो गया. सैड म्यूजिक इज टॉक्ड अबाउट द लास्ट. तो कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है कि मेरी, रोचक की और जुबिन की, हम सबकी जिम्मेदारी है कि हम खुद बात करना शुरू करें, जो मैंने शुरू की. अपने लेवल पे मैंने आके गानों को ओन करना शुरू किया, गानों के बारे में बात करनी शुरू की. जनता का फोकस आपकी तरफ शिफ्ट होगा, ऐसा नहीं कि उनका नहीं शिफ्ट होगा. इट्स जस्ट दैट उनका फोकस कभी आपकी तरफ खींचा ही नहीं गया. आपने मेहनत नहीं की. वी वर बीइंग लेजी. तो इसकी जिम्मेदारी भी हम ही ले लेते हैं अपने ऊपर कि हम लेजी थे. जब हम मेहनत करते हैं, जब हम लोगों को बताना चाहते हैं, पीपल आर अमेज्ड. जब आप किसी को जाके बताओ कि तेरा यार हूं मैं, रोचक कोहली का गाना है, तो उनका 5 मिनट के लिए टेंशन ऐसा, ओ माय गॉड दिस मैन मेड दैट सॉन्ग, वो होता है. पर बताएगा कौन? रोचक को बताना पड़ेगा.
Because a lot of the times they used to say this man has made Ayushman songs also.
Yeah.
And they used to say this man. नहीं, रोचक ने आयुष्मान के गाने बनाए. You know, you're a extremely, how should I say this, empowered individual, Rochak. You know, with your thoughts. And I know that you fought different battles, and that will always happen, and it's much opened out now. But you're not the person who will get into line also. Is it tougher for someone like you?
I guess, we all have individual choices, and for me, I think the joy lies in creating. And after that, the journey, वो फिर बहुत सारे factors हैं, and I come back to creating then. And I somehow agree with Manoj sir also कि अपने आप को ऐसा वक्त है हमारे पास अभी कि we have to go out and talk about our work, because everybody is on social media.
Yeah.
So जब मैंने म्यूजिक करना शुरू किया था, and that doesn't make me too old, but
He was a child prodigy.
times are changing very fast. So आज से say 15 साल पहले या whatever. तो तब ऐसा था कि बम्बई जाके आपकी बात बनेगी.
Correct.
कि बॉम्बे जाएंगे, अगर आपको म्यूजिक करना है, आपको एक्टिंग करनी है, आपको राइटिंग करनी है, आपको पोएट्री लिखनी है, you have to go to that one place, mecca of creative arts called Bombay, called Mumbai, But now because of और इतनी तेजी से इंटरनेट आ गया, इतनी तेजी से सब सोशल मीडिया आ गया, इंस्टाग्राम पे एक बच्चा लुधियाना में बैठ के सुपर हिट हो सकता है पूरे वर्ल्ड में.
Yes.
So this is how dynamically we are changing, and I think here I agree with him that we also have to change now. So I also have to take out my inhibitions of okay, I am good in studio or whatever. I have to go out, and then it will be a magic.
But it's also scary because attention span इतना कम रहता है. यशराज मुखाटे, when he came here, he said यार मैं 2 महीने यहाँ काम कर रहा था, मैं तो आंटी का बारी है साफ करने के लिए, कपड़े कैसे धोने ये सब कर रहा था, मैं वापस चले गया हूँ. कहता है I fight on this attention span business also with so many people, and my career was made with 15 seconds. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Okay, when he made that Toata Kutta Tommy,
exactly.
And before that, he said, but I have also studied music. और मैं जब A.R. रहमान सर से मिला, मैं अपना म्यूजिक उनको सराहा, कहता you do this also. So sometimes that can also go the other way, right? To now the slotting is much more. So मनोज मुंतशिर सर लिखते हैं बहुत, गाने भी लिखते हैं, scripts भी लिखते हैं. क्या लोग कितना जानते हैं, God knows. But is there enough space now to have multiple personalities?
Yes, of course.
अच्छा उसमें भी.
These are the best times. एक तरफ ये है कि हम एक अलग तरह का स्ट्रगल है, और वो स्ट्रगल डेफिनेटली है क्योंकि इंस्टेंट ग्रेटिफिकेशन सोशल मीडिया देता है. उसका प्रॉब्लम ये है कि बहुत सारे लोग जो अचानक रातों रात कुछ ऐसा कर दिया कि पॉपुलर हो गए, वो अपने आप को जुबिन नौटियाल समझने लगते हैं.
करेक्ट.
ये प्रॉब्लम है. जुबिन नौटियाल ने पता नहीं कितने जूते घिसे हैं, तब जाके आज जिस हाइट पे हैं वहां हैं.
Including reality shows.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course, lot of work has been done. लेकिन मैं देखता हूँ कि अचानक कोई बच्चा यहाँ कुछ गा दिया, फेमस हो गया. Now he is the cool kid on the block. I mean, everybody is talking about him. लेकिन सच यही है वापस आने के बाद कि जो रियल टैलेंट है वही सस्टेन करेगा. वक्त के साथ बाकी सब कुछ धुल जाएगा. एक ऐसी छलनी है ना, समय सब बह जाता है.
इंतजार बहुत करना पड़ता है लेकिन. So when you have a Kabir Singh that doing very well, supposing, do you now need to start putting out a lot more stuff on social media? I know I see your running videos with a friend of mine sometimes, Rizwan. I see.
Oh,
Yes.
right, yes.
So I say you're a very, ये तो इनके running videos हम देख रहे हैं. So now do you start doing auditions on social media to put out to the world to say that ये भी मेरे अवतार हैं अलग-अलग? Is that actor feeling as insecure as all of us are?
No, so you know something very similar what he just said about singers that they record a video and suddenly they become an overnight star. The same thing happens with this entire phrase of TikTok and your reels that has started. So anybody can put a camera in front of them, do a little acting, copy some dialogues and think that yeah they are acting. That's actually not how easy the job is. So
they try to make a serial actually with TikTokers, you know.
Yeah.
It really
I
bombed badly.
I don't know about
because
this.
they didn't know how to act beyond 2 minutes.
Yeah. Exactly.
It was very problematic.
They have done songs featuring TikTokers.
Oh dear.
Who wrote it?
So yes.
So yeah, so that's a similar problem. And when it comes to social media, I personally believe me going and auditioning for a role, that's like my workspace, which I try to treat it that way. I would probably just do it in person. I don't want the world to see me auditioning. It's not for the world to see. It's for the director who's casting me. It's for the people who are behind the project. So that's why I have never been on TikTok. Even in fact, when it was banned, I didn't have anything to worry because I never made an account. Till date, I've never made a reel where I'm copying dialogues
there's no
and I have
FOMO?
something.
There's no
I
FOMO?
don't feel it. I don't, because I don't feel that's something that comes naturally from me within. I mean, I'm very happy to act in front of the camera in a professional setup, but my Instagram is more about my life and what I like doing and you know what's coming up. So I treat it like that.
I think that's awesome to maintain the sanctity of that. The gentleman sitting right next to you though is only in the pahad and the hills.
Oh yeah.
I get good views.
Yeah. And you get good views on Instagram also with that. It all works. But you managed to maintain the balance really well. A lot of people, Mohit Chauhan was one of them, that didn't maintain the balance and he's very happy with that. Of course, we grew up with this brilliant music and all that. But once he went into that space, and it happens to a lot of us also, you go into this greenery and you say, wow, and then suddenly you just don't feel like coming back. It happened in the last 2 years. Nawaz ke saath hua tha. For 2 years, he just took off.
Yeah.
And he was in this I said, every time I'm speaking to you, wahi courtyard dikh raha hai. He said, haan, main wapas nahi aaya hu 2 saal se. So in the pandemic, was it tough to stay? Vishal Dadlani, he said the first 2 months I was very productive. Phir 6 months mein I just didn't feel like doing anything. So for very creative people, was it tough for you to come back and forth and to still maintain the balance?
I think the mountains gave us a lot. Every time, all of us gives us. कहते हैं दूर तक देखने की क्षमता देता है तो दूर तक सोचने की भी क्षमता देगा. I have experienced that in lockdown. When you stand there, I think इंसान की सोच बहुत खुल जाती है अगर वो दूर तक देखता है और उस environment में रहता है. I come from a place जहाँ पे अपनी सांस लेने की खुद आवाज़ आती है. So वहाँ पे आपको स्टूडियो भी नहीं चाहिए. मतलब you can literally stand somewhere and sing. इतना silence है वहाँ पर. So best of our songs when lockdown began, all three of us, best of our songs were dubbed there on a very सस्ता mic, on a basic system जब मुझे record भी नहीं करना आता था. खुद ही मैंने भाई लोग से सीखा कि इसको record कैसे करते हैं and then I went and recorded it.
We started on Zoom and Zoom में मेरा delay रहा, इसका delay रहा. You know, I used to mute and then he used to record, then he used to mute, I used to, you know.
We never realized the impact of the music that we are making from our homes would be so much. We never knew that. And
has that changed now forever? I mean, people say hybrid. I say no, I don't think it's a hybrid version anymore. I think because it's going to be like this and it's cut costs tremendously for so many people.
हाँ यार,
सारे studios have gone out of business.
वो है, but I think मिल के काम करने का मजा अलग है. You know, for example, me and Manoj sir, when we meet, you know, we talk about 2 hours and work for 5 minutes. But that 2 hours ना fuels us so much कि वो 5 मिनट में कुछ ना कुछ या तो बहुत बुरा या बहुत
This could have been a Zoom interview, but isn't it better to do it in person?
You would have been on your phone when I was asking to the other 4 people. ऐसे होता था.
I'm not that
Salil, yes. ऐसे होता है.
Can't hear you. Mic off.
And is it true that recording sessions are more about food sessions?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, always.
It has to be. That's what music means. Music is not just food to soul, it is actually real food also.
Who's the biggest foodie? I mean, I on set I'll have to ask about you, but the rest of the three, who's the biggest foodie of the lot?
Yeah,
in spite of, I don't want to say the cliched answer, you look like you eat the least, but I don't
But
know.
he eats the most.
Is it?
That is what I'm trying to tell you.
You're one of those more fast metabolism.
he's a tasteful
अरे बाप रे, इनके आप चले जाओ तो इतने डब्बे मिलते हैं हाँ जो हमारा स्टूडियो है
खाली करके,
इतने डब्बे मिलते हैं और उन डब्बों में एक से एक एक्सोटिक चीजें which he wants to flaunt also. This is from Italy. This one has been gifted by a fan. ये वहाँ से आया है. और फिर आप
Sir, I flaunt because I expect somebody who comes also to get something sometimes, but you've never got something, but it's okay, sir. You give me some beautiful lyrics.
When you know each other very well, you can take each other for granted. On the set, you know, before I take a little break, this is nice to see the chemistry between the two of you, and it's a very large song with lots of color, lots of constantly you all must have been dirty after a point of time and wet.
Oh yes.
Yes. Tough, fun, simple music videos seem like sometimes like very chilled out to shoot.
Oh, no, they're definitely not chilled out when you're shooting them. Lots to be done in less time, and we're always greedy to do more because you know you're trying to kind of create something larger than life.
Yeah.
So hectic, but at the same time, I think it's a part of the job. Yeah, like you kind of get used to it. In fact, it was very surprising to see him being so patient with all that because I've seen a lot of times people who are not actors, they lose their patience very quickly. Like, oh my God.
I've never seen him get hectic
I
ever.
have never seen that. No, not at all. So that's very commendable.
This gentleman on my left right here has possibly written everything that you've probably seen in the last 5-10 years. And it's just that, you know, now you know Manoj sir and Muntashir because he is out in these reality shows. The pehle he was also like hidden somewhere and constantly in the right big studios. Rochak, of course, sometimes outspoken, great, makes brilliant music, and has, you know, I think slowly starting to come out of his shell. You are in that way very much like Amit Trivedi. Slowly, थोड़ा एक पैर ऐसा आ रहेगा, सब दूसरा पैर बाहर आएगा.
मतलब I'm not अभी तक ना I'm not able to figure out कि इधर रहना है उधर कि उधर रहने से you know I'm really scared. फिर वो वापस आना बड़ा मुश्किल है.
You're already very late, you know that.
Yeah, and I'm okay with it. I mean,
इनको करप्ट करने की जिम्मेदारी मेरी है. पिछले कई सालों से जब से हम साथ काम कर रहे हैं, so when I first met him and Bhushan ji introduced us and we were working on a song.
you know the first meeting, na sir?
Yeah, बिल्कुल.
How it happened?
Yeah. I realized this man is a purist. और वो purist भी कौन सी कैटेगरी का MTV वाला purist. I mean only.
उस ज़माने का MTV. Yeah.
हाँ उस ज़माने का MTV. Only meaningful music and very minimal acoustics. That kind of man who completely believes in purity. And I could sense from the day one that I mean purity has to be contaminated. So
आपने मुझे मासी से मिलाया. He made me मासी.
तो दिन रात एक हमारे और दोस्त हैं कुमार, हम सबके दोस्त हैं वो. तो कुमार और मैं हम दोनों ने मिलकर ये जिम्मेदारी उठाई, ये बीड़ा उठाया कि इस आदमी को करप्ट करके बॉलीवुडिश बनाना है और हमने करके.
He's on his way there.
Yeah.
And perhaps now one of the most corrupted names is Jubin Nautiyal. Every song is there, love him. And Nikita Datta, thank you so much for joining us. You know, normally it's always tough to have a very large setup with you because you know you always say that can you give enough time space to each person? But I don't think there's a problem there. Now, toughest thing and easiest thing for you shooting, singing to the बहुत easy था always. Samne also I think now you've come into your own zone. Even though there I think your Baba यहाँ पे भी पकड़ी है, सब बाबा zone है.
I think the directors we've been working with, they have been trying to just keep the character very close to me. ज़्यादा experiment ये सब उनको
इसमें तो dance भी है यार.
I was very worried about that. But ठीक है, if it works, you know how it is.
Yeah, because I thought you'd just be standing and then she'd be coming around you.
I thought
अरे
the
इसका तो movement हो रहा है जब ये पीछे कर रही है. This was a very interesting change.
It was कर लिया यार बस.
Were you surprised with his reluctance to dance?
He was actually not reluctant to dance. I do remember when I went for rehearsals for the first time, they were all like, you know, Jubin's not very comfortable with dancing. So, and I remember when you were doing the steps, I'm like, you're sure he'll be able to do this? They said, no, we'll try and all. And one rehearsal down and he'd completely picked it up very easily. Nice. So when everybody was building this whole thing that, oh, he's not comfortable with dancing, and I saw him dancing, I said, how is he not comfortable? He looks very comfortable to me.
Actually, I had called for the previous rehearsal takes, practiced those steps 3-4 days घर पे, and then I went for the rehearsal. So,
but it's also got to be perfect.
What a scam.
एक time ऐसा था when you could get away by saying that, you know, back in the days, कि मुझे ये करना ही नहीं है, so whatever I do is the law. Now you can't do that. Now I think everyone expects you to be able to be good at everything, right? So, do you think there's going to come a time where you'll have to like up your game dancing wise? Because तुम गाने तो सारे गा रहे हो और बीच में fast गाने भी आएंगे, अगर उसका remix version आ गया तो फिर?
every time I think with every song, चाहे वो singing हो, चाहे वो उस पे काम करना हो, उस पे shoot करना हो, जैसा सर ने बोला कि हम लोग बिल्कुल जैसे किसान काम करता है ना, उस तरह हम काम करते हैं गानों पे। वो मतलब इट इज़ ऑलमोस्ट लाइक घुस करके बिल्कुल नींद नहीं आ रही, खाना भूख नहीं लग रही, बट यू लाइक दैट। सो व्हेन यू आर एग्जीक्यूटिंग द वीडियो ऑल्सो, इट इज़ विद द सेम माइंडसेट। इतनी मेहनत हुई है, मतलब मैं कितनी बार कहता हूँ कि सिंगर बहुत बाद में आता है गाना गाने के लिए, बट द कंपोजर, द राइटर, दे वर्क इन एंड आउट, डिफरेंट लिरिक्स, डिफरेंट ड्राफ्ट। मतलब आपने कितनी बार, मुझे लगता है कि गाने के 15-15 अंतरे नहीं लिखे।
कभी कभी होता है।
सो इट इज़ लाइक इट इज़, मतलब सिंगर बाद में आता है, 1-2 घंटा गाता है, ये सब वो अलग चीज़ है, बट देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ वर्क दैट गोज बिहाइंड इट बिफोर एंड देन
Of course.
शूटिंग इट एंड आफ्टर। तो अगर एक बंदा आके वो खराब करे थोड़ा सा भी, I can't take
It's
the
looking
blame
beautiful
for
also.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And normally you don't ask everyone to sing also without musical instruments. Jubin is one who doesn't need musical instruments. So yeah.
So hey guys, this is Jubin Nautiyal and we are with my brother Salil. We have the composer of the song Mast Nazro, Rochak. We have the writer Manoj, and we have the actress and my friend Nikita, and we're gonna do this live for you guys in acoustics. बारिशों का वो महीना भूल पाएंगे कभी ना, बारिशों का वो महीना भूल पाएंगे कभी ना, जुल्फ से जब पानी झटका तूने झूम के, आए ऐसी खूबसूरत भूल बैठे हम शराफत, लौट आई पागल आंखें तुझको चूम के, इश्क था या जहर चढ़ गया था, इश्क था या जहर चढ़ गया था, होश में आज तक आ ना पाए, मस्त नजरों से अल्लाह बचाए, मस्त वालों से अल्लाह बचाए, मस्त नजरों से अल्लाह बचाए, हुस्न वालों से अल्लाह बचाए, आशिकी कातिलों की गली है, आशिकी कातिलों की गली है, जीते जी कोई वापस ना आए, मस्त नजरों से अल्लाह बचाए, हुस्न वालों से अल्लाह बचाए, हुस्न वालों से अल्लाह बचाए।
Oh. When they say music is for your soul, you know, actually, your man tript ho jata hai, you know, and I can't explain the meaning to you when you sit right next to singers, and you know, when it really touches you inside. You know, my ears actually shut down the outside world when I'm listening to good music. And thank you so much for doing this for us. Meeting all is just a little excuse. This was a real little setup that was there. But Mast Nazro says it's trending #1, which is normal for him. He has like some gazillion views on every song. And I think that works very well. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Nikita, thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
joining
sir.
us.
Thank you very much.
Till the next time, of course, this interview you can watch online and on TV as well. B4U Entertainment is where you need to go. Bye-bye.